Well, good afternoon and welcome to Twerton Park for this pre-Christmas National League South fixture between Bath City and Welling United. Our visitors today might lie third from bottom of the National South, but they're a no-holds-barred sort of team. In their last 6 matches, they've beaten Slough 4-3 and Yeovil 4-1, yet lost 4-1 to Braintree and 4-2 to Weston-super-Mare. Put simply, they tend to score and they tend to concede. Last week's 2-0 defeat by Eastbourne being a notable exception. Yet to describe Welling in recent years is to talk about a club in almost constant turmoil. Since Jerry Gill was appointed at Bath City, they've enjoyed no less than 12 managers, including Steve King and Mark Goldberg, non-league managerial aficionados, and ex-England and Northern Ireland internationals in Peter Taylor and Warren Feeney. Now with Danny Bloor, bizarrely sacked by Eastbourne after twice leading them into the playoffs, they face an uphill task to avoid relegation. It's not just managers that turn around at Welling. So far they've used 40 players since August and 163 since the start of the 2021 season. You get the feeling the players' handshake pre-kick-off for Welling at least allows the team to know who they're playing with. City, after 5 league games without a win, will be desperate to get their Christmas period off to a flying start. Yet as Yeovil could tell them, after their shock defeat against the Wings, this might not be as easy as it looks on paper. My name's Andrew Kerslake, and alongside me I have our match commentator of Alex Lane Kiltiger. You look at the respective league positions, Alex, and think this is easy, but I'm not so convinced, are you?
Good afternoon, Andrew. Yeah, I think in a way you're right there. I mean, it's a bizarre situation at the moment. I was just saying to you off there that even though it's been 5 league games without a victory for City, I still feel very positive, especially watching them playing some good football. Obviously, the odd game now and again where things don't quite go their way, doesn't quite go right. But we look at the recent results and we look at the 2 losses. The Chelmsford one was, let's be honest, it was one of those ones that just happened. It can happen, it does happen. Got a little bit out of hand that game. And then the Yeovil game, you know, they competed and they were evenly matched with Yeovil, and they did lose, unfortunately, from that set-piece situation. But since then, obviously, a few draws and a win against Boreham Wood, and I still feel quite positive. Just 6 points off the 2nd place in the league, and only just outside the playoffs based on goal difference. So, on paper, as you say, City should win this game, but you are right, you never quite know what's going to happen. I think, fortunately, based on the fact that we're only 2 days away from Christmas, it's going to be a bit of a smaller crowd as we're already seeing. It's at Twerton Park. I think this does bode much more in City's favour. And Tom Smith is going to get us underway. As mentioned, referee Lewis Sando just doing his final checks. And Welling are very much prepared to chase this ball down straight away. And we're underway here at Twerton Park between Bath City and Welling United in the National League South. Now a long ball sent down towards Tristan Abrahams. As I mentioned before, lots of experience. He has it by the corner flag now on the left-hand side. Does well to bring it inside for Green. Just want to skip past the challenge at the edge of the box. Sends a cross in. Good opportunity for Welling to try and divert it goalwards. Not able to do so, though, as Freer brings it down the left-hand side with Orji. First time getting his touch on the ball. It's a good ball over top back to Orji as well. Greenside putting pressure on. Orji can carry on running up towards the byline. Sends a lovely-looking cross in, and Boost does really well to hold strong Bears tie. Almost got in his own way. Most of the sorts of crosses we want to see City doing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Russ switching it over to the right-hand side. It's a good ball for Thomas. Will he be able to catch up to that one, though? He does so right near the byline. He's just holding weight at the corner flag. Does well to hold off Green. Does be a bit tricky with his feet, but he does win a corner here, Thomas. So good opportunity now. And here comes a corner from Freer. Definitely a bit of gust of wind there, you see from the corner flag. Sent in towards a penalty spot. Was reaching its way to range. Didn't quite meet him, though. And Smith's going to take a shot from range. Had to completely twist his body, almost a 180 there. Goes sailing way over the bar, and it will be a goal kick. But first shot for City. Halfway inside the Welling half. Comes back to the right-hand side now with Rains. Inside for Thomas. Just draws the shoulder now, and this is a shot there from Thomas. And with a great-looking effort, and it goes out for a corner. Brilliant stretching save from Charles Cook there. And that's exactly what Jordan Thomas is all about.
Yeah, good shot by Thomas. Angled across goal, and you get the feeling that Charles Cook wasn't exactly expecting that.
And it comes now from Freer. It's a deep one towards Parcell. I can't quite get on the end of it. Hayfield can watch it. Goes back to Smith. First time cross. Cleared away by Green. Smith does really well there. Good first touch to bring it down, but he is dispossessed that time. Now with Bird, who can push it forward. Onto Abrahams, not quite able to hold on possession. Greenside does well. That's with Adesanya, because split it out to the right-hand side. He does really well to find Orji. Near the edge of the box now, can send a cross in. Plenty of shirts in there. Goes to the back post. And almost an own goal from Reigns. Does really well to chest it clear for a corner instead. With the right foot towards a near post. Smith's able to clear quite easily. And Thomas will try and chase that one down before it goes out of play. He does so really well. A lovely feint pass as well to take on a defender. And Reigns does really well to hold on to possession. He comes up to the halfway line. Now Thomas, skips past Chambers as if he wasn't even there, Thomas. He'll go on a bit of a run now, cuts inside. He may try and unleash another shot. It falls to Greenside. We know exactly what he likes to do from these angles. Doesn't take the shot though. Hayfield to the left-hand side for Freer. Cross it in towards Wilson. 1-0 to City. A brilliant glancing header from Scotty Wilson. And that's exactly what he's going to want. 22.5 minutes gone here. It's 1-0 to the Romans. Scott Wilson back on the score sheet. And a lovely, sublime cross from Elliot Freer. What a goal from the Romans.
Yeah, worked superbly well. Started out on the right. Ball played across field to Freer. And that cross into the box. And just glancing from Wilson. He knew exactly where he wanted to put that. And nice to see a really well-worked goal there. And a real boost after the fact that City have missed in recent games a number of chances. Wilson this time, no mistake.
It was a really professional goal, wasn't it?
It was great.
Lovely cross from Freer, perfectly onto the head of Wilson.
There's also a great move down the right side, which kicked it all off, wasn't it?
So if Thomas can keep this up consistently, he could potentially be the best ever you've seen, but Smith has lost out on the ball there. Referee says no foul, now he's brought it back. I was kind of curious as to why the referee had not blown his whistle, because Smith completely dragged back the player there, tried to play the advantage, and it will be a booking against Smith, and he caused his own problem there.
Yeah, quite right too.
And here it comes towards the corner of the box. Good header back in by Bird. Parcel does well to head it away. Falls back to Green. He may just try and unleash a shot from 20 yards out. Instead goes to Abrahams inside the box on the right-hand side. Sends in a cross with the left foot. And now City have a good opportunity to break away. Freer instead not taking any chances and actually avoids Adesanya. And now Thomas can break away down the right-hand side. Only Wilson in the box at the moment. You may just see a Thomas shot. Instead, it overlaps for Smith. Sends a cross in low towards Freer with the header. Great save by Charles Cook with his legs to put out for a corner. Another shot on target for City.
But again, it was a perfect move down that right-hand side. And City winning the ball a little opportunely in their own box. And then they're coming out to Thomas. And boy, is he on fire at the moment.
Freer on the left-hand side sends a cross in. It was a good-looking cross, but Wilson wasn't anywhere near the ball that time. A chopped away clearance, and they cleared back into their own box as well from Curran. And now Thomas brings it down inside the box, somehow holds on to it. Reigns on the edge of the box, sends a low cross in. Charles Cook has to chest it down and then receive it into his hands. But once again, City looking much more dangerous in the final third. I think once again the wind causing havoc. There's Wilson almost dispossessing, once again intercepting, and Freer can do this time as well. And it's very poor from Welling, not able to just make a basic pass as Hayfield has a lot of space down the central line. Goes to right-hand side for Thomas. Now two red shirts coming around to cover off the main man on the right-hand side. Reigns back to Thomas, just in line with the edge of the box. Sends a cross in up towards Wilson, handed away by Bird. Could fall to Russ, who does really well to win that 50-50. And now Greenside, we know what he can do from that angle. Takes a shot, deflected away. And Chambers does really well to bring the ball down that time. Goes to the right-hand side for a dom. And Greenside able to dispossess a bit too easily. Smith does well as well. And City fighting hard for every challenge. Now Freer inside the box, left-hand side. Sends a cross into Wilson. Hayfield gets the shot wrong though. 6 yards out. Has to turn his body. Defensive pressure goes over the bar. And it is a goal kick for the visitors.
Yeah, he was under pressure from Cameron Green as the ball came to him. But just didn't really connect with him. But a good cross from Freer, finding his man in that 18-yard box, and another good move from City.
Well, Freer with the outswing of this time, he's taken every corner today, and they've actually been very decent corners. Although Thomas is coming short. It's going to be a deep one though, as Charles Cook is coming all the way out for, does really well to palm it away. And Smith will try and watch it go out for a throw-in. In fact, he slides in that time, and it actually does come off the defender last. It was Bramble. So Reigns will set up a long throw-in here to find that second goal somehow. With a wet ball on a windy day. Ooh, I may have tried to send it short to Thomas now. It'll be about 3 minutes of added time once the board goes up. Dye can't quite win the header. Back out to Reigns, who sends a lovely cross in. It was a whip ball, headed away by Bird. It was a good-looking ball up towards the 6-yard line, and then Reigns goes sliding in, and the wetness of the ground took him about 10 yards extra, from the looks of things. Greenslade to pass out, has Free on the left-hand side if he wants to use him, does so. No support inside yet, but Free does incredibly well to skip past Orji, though. Drop the shoulder, sends a cross in up towards Wilson, now it's Smith, in for Thomas, 2-0 to City. Too easy for City as well, has to be said. 45 minutes gone. Jordan Thomas getting on the end of Smith's sort of shot, kind of pass in the end. Brilliant once again from Elliot Frear as well. And it is Bath City 2, Welling United 0.
And I think the significance there is both the first goal and the second. We've talked about Elliot Frear's involvement. Did really well to win the ball down on the touchline, took it forward under pressure, put in a superb cross, and the goal resulting from that. And good to see Thomas getting onto the score sheet again. And City, well, what a tonic that provides just before the interval.
That's his first into the 7th of November as well for Jordan Thomas. So both of the lads you want back on the score sheet have found the back of the net today, which is great news. Has to be said as well, Elliot Frear, the way he just dropped the shoulder and then just flicked it on forward for himself. It may not count as an assist, sadly, for him. It'll count as a Smith assist, in fact, for that one. But it will certainly feel like one with how well Frear did. Worked incredibly hard for that goal there. Russ to Reigns. Reigns once again just trying to trick away from defender, gets it to Thomas instead, who just hits a ball over top for Wilson to run onto. Instead it will come out to Reigns now after a header from Curran. Tries a little fancy flick towards Thomas, who will chase on to the end of that one.
A little bit of showboating there between Reigns and Thomas.
As we said as well, a very fine finish from Thomas as well. Speaking of which, Thomas not able to keep it in. It will be a throw-in for Welling, just in line with their own box. Did score in the away game as well. Another fine finish. That will be the halftime highlights. If you stay tuned in, as you should, it's been a fantastic day for Bath City so far. As Smith on the right-hand side, not quite able to find the outlet, but will be with Hayfield on the edge of box. Flicks over top for Wilson. Take a shot, and he gets it completely wrong there, the striker. Probably tried something he didn't need to. Could have just hooked his foot around the ball rather than aim for power. And they go to half-time whistle here at Twarton Park. It is now Bath City 2, Welling United 0. Goals from Scotty Wilson and Jordan Thomas. Grant out to the left for Adom. Has two City players around him. Thomas trying to put the tackle in. It finds Green. There's a bit of space there. Lovely ball through to Abrahams. Great save from Boots. It looked like it may have been with his face there, actually. It was a very direct shot. Boots made himself big, came out quickly. But a close opportunity there for Welling to half the deficit inside for Abrahams, who's finding himself with a lot more space, a lot more time on the ball. Now that Roscoe has come on, Parcell certainly been put on the fresh-legged striker. Green does really well to run to the edge of box. He's running inside now, gets past another player. Russ, last-ditch challenge, put it out for a corner. Good defending from Russ, but once again, a bit too easy for Green there. May fall to Thomas. Adesanya all over him there, pulling back the shirt. Smith's able to come out of it. Now with Thomas, now Hayfield. Over to left-hand side for Greenside. He could send through forward with Frear. There's plenty of space ahead of him. Down the left-hand side. Could send a cross in now. Only Orji on him. Goes towards a byline. Crossing towards Thomas, can't quite win the header, and it will go out for a goal kick instead. Actually, did hit there to Thomas last. A little like may have come off a defender last. Here at Twarton Park, it's Bath City 2, Welling United 0. Listen to myself, Alex Ankiltiga, alongside Andrew Kerslake. Uncle Scott Wilson can break away. Inside box, tries to send a cross in. Goes out for a corner. Here we go. Frear up towards the 6-yard line, almost hits the head of Reigns, who's coming charging in there. Smith on the left-hand side. Trying to angle himself away from the defender. It's Curran, put the pressure on, keeping Smith away, and Smith has to get that one right to get back to Greenside. Great ball out from Greenside to right-hand side for Frear. First touch does let him down, but he's able to keep it in. Near the byline now, will try and take on the defender. Does so, sends a cross in, looping shot, that will be a goal, 3-0. This time it's Dan Hayfield with a glancing header into the back of the net. And that is a Frear assist. 11 minutes gone in the second half, 3-0.
Again, fantastic cross from him, flighted absolutely perfectly. And City get what you feel must be the decisive goal of this game.
3-0 now, and Elliot Frear is in the festive mood today. 2 assists for him, almost a third assist as well. That second goal, inches away from being 3 assists for him. But Dan Hayfield as well. It was a perfectly wrapped gift for him from Frear, right onto his head. Very similar to the Wilson goal in the first half. 2 glancing headers into the bottom corner. Charles Cook nowhere to be seen. Reigns has to watch this long ball. Abrahams will keep it in though. Almost comes off Reigns. And Reigns with a lovely roulette spin, once again wanting to show off those fancy little skills that he has. But unfortunately, Thomas not quite able to hold on to possession that time. And he has looked quite good going forward, to be fair, Cameron Green. Just doesn't have the players around him currently. And Freer playing alongside Thomas on the right-hand side. And Thomas, lovely ball out to the left-hand side, switching up to Greenslade. Can send a cross in now. Ricochets off the defender, should go for a corner, and it does so. Here comes the outswinger by Freer. Onto header Batten, who does win the header, and Wilson putting the pressure on Charles Cook there. And somehow, Dyer can't quite bring it down. Reigns does really well to find himself to the byline, has Wilson with him. Can send an early cross in now, Wilson. It bobbles up ahead of him. Cleared away. Greenslade can bring it down. Goes out to the left. Now Thomas has Freer with him, uses Freer, has plenty of space ahead of him to send a cross in early. Doesn't do so though. Curran trying to close him down. Up towards Dyer, off the bar! And Wilson's not able to convert either. Another great cross by Freer.
An amazing goal if that got in, and really acute angle.
Great cross by Freer. Dyer just slightly too high, hits the crossbar. And that would have been a hat-trick of headed goals today, and not quite often you get to see that. Greenslade to the left-hand side for Hayfield. It's really well by Hayfield, just to take on the oncoming Musgrove. Game on at half-time. It will be a free kick after the striker's pin lies there. Here comes the deep cross from Freer towards the back post. Reigns sends it back across. Now to Thomas with a long shot, and actually it probably looked a lot closer than it was. But great from Thomas with the outside of the foot on the volley there. Just goes wide of Charles Cook's post.
Scott Wilson coming off to a good round of applause. Much deserved. A little pat on the head from Cody Cook. Cody Cook just showing heels of his boots to the linesman. He wasn't taking any notice, so he has to do exactly the same thing again.
As we just hit the 70th minute, still 3-0 here for Bath against Welling. Elliot Freer will be making way now. 2 assists for him today. There's Ewan Clark to come on here. Will be Reigns to take, brings it inside. It may fall for Cody Cook to have a shot there with the left foot, and quite do so. He's on the edge of box now, goes back to Hayfield, now to the left-hand side with Greenslade. Here comes Ewan Clark. He'll try and take on these defenders. He's seen what Freer's been able to do today, so he'll want to do the same. He goes through the legs of the fullback, and he's almost put out for a penalty. Instead he goes out for a corner, and that is sublime from Ewan Clark. Straight away, making a statement as he comes on here.
Yeah, mind you, I mean, if I was him sitting on the bench, I'd so be looking forward to coming on and playing against this defence.
And Clark and Thomas decide to take the corner quickly. It's with Thomas with his left foot. Could go back to Clark. Does so now. They want to go back out to the left-hand side. But Tunga does really well to defend it, but it will be a free kick instead. He did bundle over Clark there on the way through. Waiting for the referee's whistle. And it will be Thomas to take. Outswinger, out towards the head of Parcell. And Cook does get on the end of that one. May fall way through to Reigns there, who's coming charging in there. Now Grant, who we haven't seen too much of today. Good ball forward though. Good opportunity now for Welling to break away. This time with Papadopoulos. Brilliant ball forward towards the right winger. That should be a penalty. The referee says no. No, referee, it's a free kick for City actually. Apparently simulation. It will be a booking here as well. There's Adom who went down. There's Papadopoulos who threaded it forward. It was a really good-looking ball, actually, and he sort of skipped past Booth, who came down, and he got bundled over. And I like to think the weird thing, though, is that he probably would have scored had he stayed up, so...
We did say in the first half, though, that we thought that Lewis Sando, the referee, had a really good performance, and he's just carried that on in the second half.
Well, initially it looked like a penalty, but obviously the referee saw it better than we did, and you could see he blew up his whistle, I'm not sure. But the referee saw it best and claimed it was a blatant dive, so there we go.
And now Clark's just been floored.
He's nursing himself a little down on the ground, and I think there's a bit of frustration coming out for Welling now. In fairness as well to Adom, he didn't really appeal that much, did he, for that penalty?
Whole bunch of players into the 18-yard box.
And it comes from Clark up towards it was Reigns who got the flicked header on, cleared away, back out with Clark. There's Thomas on the overlap. Doesn't use him initially. Now it goes to Thomas. Back out to Clark, first time. Cross in with the left foot towards Dyer. We'll try and keep it in, but we'll go straight for a throw. And once again, Thomas looking very comfortable every time he's on the ball there. Nice to see those two linking up, considering they play on opposite wings usually. And Clark will pick up the ball inside the Welling half. He threads the ball forward to be sent in. This time it's a good cross looking in towards Cook. Comes out to Thomas on right-hand side. Has plenty of space. He may just unleash a shot here. Takes a touch though, but does really well to stay strong and dispossess the wing at that time. Brilliant touch from Cook with his chest to bring it down. Now Clark on the left-hand side. Can switch it all the way up to Thomas. He does so. Thomas has acres of space around him now. Can come inside the box on my right-hand side. Brings onto his left foot. May just take a shot there, and that should be a penalty, and it will be a penalty. A late challenge from Tunga that time. Brings down Jordan Thomas, and you'd imagine Cody Cook will be all over this penalty.
Yep, and no protests at all there from the Welling players. Thomas travelling at pace, clearly upended, and well, can City make this 4?
Scored 7 out of 8 penalties.
I'm going low left.
Low left, okay. I'm going top left, you're going low left. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. Cody Cook with the run up. And it's low right. Who'd have thought, eh? It's low right.
Keeper's left.
Oh, of course. I apologise, Andrew. We'll give you that one. I won the cracker competition. You won the penalty competition. There we go. It's 4-0 here. It's 4-0 here. With just 4 minutes remaining in this game. And it's been a very professional performance. Bath City 4, Welling United 0. And as we said, the Wings have been utterly de-winged by the Romans today.
Fleeced almost.
Fleeced, yes. Yep. Biggest home win of the season, as it stands right now. And it's been a very, very Merry Christmas for Bath City and their supporters today. 4-0 up here at Twerton Park. What a lovely early gift-wrapped Christmas present that is for Roman supporters everywhere. And Welling just happily passing along the back. They clearly don't want to concede anymore. And it will be 5 minutes of added time. That probably all comes from Will Boost sorting out his laces earlier.
Yep.
Orji. And now it's with Adesanya on the centre circle to the left for Grant. And there goes the full-time whistle a few seconds early as the game was pittering out here at Twerton Park. And a very Merry Christmas for Bath City fans as it ends here. Bath City 4, Welling United 0. Goal scorers including Scott Wilson, Jordan Thomas. Excuse me, my throat just went a bit funny as I was talking about it then. Cody Cook. And I can't remember who scored the third goal now. It's been a bit of a rush. Dan Hayfield with a lovely headed goal, glancing header into the bottom corner. There you go, still 4-0 here at Twerton Park. Great display from the players overall. Andrew, what a win.
Yeah, you have to say that's probably as comprehensive a victory as Jerry Gill could have wished for. Welling, they opened well for the first 10 minutes of the first half. They did well for the first 5 minutes of the second half, but take that quarter of an hour out of the game and City have totally dominated not just the 4 goals, but some great passing play around this pitch. A lot to be excited about. We've already talked about Thomas this afternoon, man of the match, but also Elliot Freer doing really well down that left-hand side, putting in superb crosses. Wilson sharp and lively up front, and then Russ in midfield in absolutely cracking form. Plus Joe Rains, I mean, doing loads of little tricks, really annoying the Welling players by doing turns on them all the time. And well, for City, a really, really comprehensive performance. And what more could you wish going into this holiday period? I'm sure they will find that Chippenham game on Boxing Day heck of a lot harder than they find this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, Joe was talking about mentality, and even we were talking about mentality as well. They came into this game knowing what they wanted to do. They had to change it up quite quickly, as we saw in the opening 10 minutes, but after that, they ran away with the game. And it has to be said as well, other than maybe the Taunton second half performance, that may have been the best half of the season, that second half.
I think also because it was purposeful. You know, it wasn't just about possession, it wasn't just about trying to control the game. It was also about being really penetrative and really threatening going forward. And I mean, at times, you have to say, they ran the Welling defence ragged. I mean, you know, we've spoken so much about Jordan Thomas, but they started off not putting anybody on him. They then put 1 on, then 2, and ending the game with 3 players around him every time he got the ball. So really City demonstrating their superiority and demonstrating the difference between the top and bottom of the table. So a great afternoon here at Twerton Park. Goals for Wilson, Thomas, Hayfield and Cook. City running out 4-0 winners in front of 1,103 here. The Wings have certainly taken flight. Thanks very much. Have a great Christmas. And for those of you not making it to Chippenham on Boxing Day, do tune back in to Bath City Radio.